Well, you need like a catchy first line, like "Hello, Chess NYC community and
No, it's
Chess
not
World."
Chess NYC. It's Hello World.
Well, then fine, but you have to have some sort of intro. Hello, world. You're supposed to have something for this part.
Welcome back to Chess is Dead. Today we're going to talk about why we all really need to get along and what the real ultimate goal of this whole podcast is all about. Obviously, it's not chess is dead, period. It's chess is dead. What are we going to do about it? So today we're going to talk about some of the things relationship-wise and how we should work in concert with each other. If you happen to be a chess coach, a chess teacher, a chess program, a chess organization, we really need to work together. I get the fact that, I'm a tough pill. I get the fact that I came into this chess community as a non-chess player to develop chess. And I realize that many of you have no clue on what that means. Don't understand who I am and what my objective was. A lot of you felt that our objective at Chess NYC was perhaps to extract things from you, to somehow reduce or minimize what you're able to do in the chess world, when that couldn't be further from the truth. The truth of the matter is that we're here at chess because it is dead. Let's make no mistake about it. But it's dead, ... not it's dead, ... period. Chess will not remain dead. That's why we're here, to establish chess on a much broader scale in the marketplace and to increase the size of chess play and chess participation. And if we do this together, or if you are cooperative with us in getting this done, you will find that your marketplace will grow and that you have greater opportunity, that we're not here to reduce what you have a shot at. We're here to increase it. And the way that works is our mainstream approach to getting a larger number of people playing the game, specifically children, because the lowest hanging fruit is children, and it begins down there. In order to develop adult players, they have to be children first. And what we do especially well is mainstream approach all these kids with a lot of fun, a lot of leadership, a lot of inspiration, a lot of practical explanation to what happens, a lot of explanation of failure. What does failure mean, and how can you go beyond failure? How you're reaching for something all the time. How to give them short-term tangible goals every single time they come to see you. And being able to go home or leave your program on a given day knowing something they didn't know before. And how to put it in language that is more plausible to them, they're more willing to embrace it because it's more, simplified is maybe the best way to say it. And that's what we're all about. That's what Chess NYC is all about.
So in the 10 plus, how many years has it been now? Almost 15?
It started in 2007. This is 22, 15 years. It really started in 2010 though, because it opened in 7 and it wasn't doing anything till we got there.
Yeah. So are you more opportunistically based in how you approach it, especially considering like we've taken multiple like missteps to get where we are today? Or do you have like a specific vision that you see Chess NYC at? Or do you, because like, for example, like you talked about the prior episode, like the NBA chess thing, that's more opportunistic based. And like, did you see that in 2010? Like, I'm going to work with the NBA one day?
2010, I didn't see anything. 2010, first of all, I don't think we've made a lot of mistakes, maybe a couple along the way, but I have to take exception to that. We made a couple of mistakes here and there. And no, I didn't see online at all. In fact, the chess community, the way they talked about online in 2010 to 2000, I don't know, whatever, was very derogatory. They didn't think highly of it. I think, again, they resented the online opportunities that it might hurt them. So they were really, it's one of the few things that I listened to. They would talk about how chess teaching online is not the same thing and chess online is not the same thing. It ain't true. Online chess itself is a great opportunity that I know I didn't see. And I think part of me believes that they didn't see it to some extent, the historical old-fashioned chess group. And another part of me believes that a lot of them were afraid of it and just were really, spoke poorly of it to people because they didn't want to see online chess be another Michael Proper coming in and taking marketplace away from them. So I didn't know. I didn't come in. I came in because I felt like chess was incredibly underdeveloped. And I still feel that way, even with all that we've done, maybe we're 0.2% along the way. I still feel that way. But I watched what soccer did in this country, and I watched soccer develop the growth. When I was a kid, like I may have said in other podcasts, nobody played soccer. I mean, literally nobody. And when it began, as I was going through playing on the football teams and the basketball teams, it was, it started to grow slowly. And whatever is going on with soccer now, and I'm not a soccer fan. It's the only sport I just can't relate to because I never know when the game ends. The game has grown exponentially. There's no disputing what happened with soccer.
Well, specifically in the U.S., it's always been big.
I'm talking U.S. I'm talking U.S. So what they did with soccer is my goal to do with chess. That's what I saw as the opportunity. I didn't know what the mechanisms were until I got involved. I didn't see online chess. I didn't see, what it was all about. So no, I didn't. That's not something that I thought about or saw until I got involved in chess. I first had to come into chess as a non-chess player because that's what I was. I mean, I was a friggin' zero. And I had to learn how to set up boards. I had to learn all these things that everybody takes for granted. And I did. And now I'm a relatively good chess player, but still not great because I watch great teaching. So no, I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't know what the steps for us were until I got involved. I had to get my feet wet and get involved in the chess community and in chess play and see what was going on to understand how we were going to do what we were going to do.
So what does the goal look like once it's achieved to you? Like what does it look like? Because I don't really know the answer to this myself, but for in the next, say 5 years, 10 years even, like what is your goal? What does it look like?
300% growth year over year, every year, 150 to 300%, never stopping. There's always another generation of children coming up to get involved in the game. There's a greater retention goal, keep them in the game after they start playing. So if you grow at 150 to 300% like we do, and on a constant basis, and you reduce the attrition rate, you're going to increase the marketplace. And by virtue of it being a more popular game, everybody's going to benefit by that. And that's what I mean when I say, can't we all just get along? The fact that we are, in my opinion, and I am the antithesis of the typical chess player, we are a godsend to chess. We are not a threat. We are the best thing to happen to you in New York City since the game started, because we're going to come in here and do things to grow an interest level. And no matter who you are and what you do with it, you will benefit by that. So we're not a threat. People don't like us necessarily because we came in and became a larger market, took a larger market share than they may have ever been able to do before because we're more straightforward. And interestingly enough, they may not like us, but the city sure does. We get calls every single day with new programs and new schools, and we get along really well with them. And the clients that we work with, exception of I think there were 2 over the course of the 10 to 12 years, with the exception of that, are devoutly loyal to us, and we are equally loyal to them. So there's got to be something here that's likable. You're a chess coach, and you think that we're threatening you. You're mistaken. You are misjudging what's going on here. Chess NYC came out to grow chess. And there's not one person that's involved in chess today that doesn't help. Not one. It's instinctive to resent it. I used to tell the story. My family was in retail 2 generations ago. And they had dress stores. Imagine you talk about old fashioned. They had dress stores in the South Bronx. And the idea when someone opened up a store next to you on the street, the hatred was palpable. It was like, how dare you open up a dress store on my street? It's not their street. And if there are more dresses to buy on the street, more people will come to the street to buy the dresses. So, but the mentality was, how dare you come to my street and open up a business next door to me? No one ever saw back then, and we should be smarter and more evolved than that now. No one ever saw the value of the depth of offerings on a street, how much stronger that makes that whole street, which does not belong to you. how much stronger that whole street would be by virtue of additional retail outlets there. The same similar principle applies here. We go out there, we mainstream the game, we get kids in game 25-5. I have absolutely no interest. Chess NYC has no interest in developing the game beyond game 25-5 for our players. So the kids that want to play beyond 25-5, they're going to have no choice but to go to you. And when I say you, I'm talking to other chess venues that are available out in the city out there. We have no interest in that game. In the United States and New York City, we're going to pump game 25-5, which is recognized by FIDE and USCF as a classic time control and a quick time control simultaneously. That's all we're going to do, because we're going to get a large number of kids playing that game, and we're going to get them to be really good at that game. Really good. So good that if they choose to go to game 90 or game 120 or whatever they want to get involved in with someone else later, they'll be well prepared because they've been developed and trained in game 25-5.
Do you think that chess could ever rival another sport like soccer or basketball? Or do you think that it's not really plausible? Because the funny thing is, like, to be a good chess player, you don't need to do anything but be able to think. To be a good athlete, like, at a certain point, you have to be good at something. Like, you have to be tall, you have to be fast, you have to be strong, you have to be smart. All those things. Like, the best basketball players are super intelligent. Do you think that you could ever utilize that? Because chess is technically a sport. To market it in a way that it becomes as popular as any sport because anybody can play it.
Well, Sharu, our dear friend, may he rest in peace, would have torn you apart for that statement. He always was vehement that it's not a sport.
I know that, but it's technically a sport. And it is a part of the AAU, for example.
I can say that's only because we did that.
But
I'm calling it. It was never an AAU.
Isn't it in the Olympics too?
It was never an AAU event. Never until we came along.
What about the Olympics?
Never occurred for chess people that we should be getting along with to get involved with other partnerships. Never entered their mind. It's all USCF and FIDE. We are AAU chess.
I thought chess is in the next Olympics now.
That I don't know, but that's not AAU.
No, I'm just saying as another example of it being a sport.
I can't tell you. But as far as whether it could compete with those sports, it's different. And we don't know what it can do. We know right now it's ridiculously small and dead. We know that. Not enough people in the United States play it. What goes on in other countries, I can't speak to. But here, nobody plays it. Even though the chess community believes everybody plays it. It's not true. So the growth is there. How large it could get, I have no guess. Will it compete with basketball? Not for me. Basketball to me was the ultimate game growing up. Will it compete with baseball, football, hockey, soccer? I couldn't really tell you, but I can tell you this: it's going to get a lot closer than it is today.
So since we've brought up the AAU and how we got chess into it, do you want to give a small explanation of how you managed to get it into the AAU itself?
Well, first of all, you brought up AAU.
No, I know, but
Second of all, there's many more. There are fitness organizations that we are endorsed by. There are a lot of partnerships for Chess NYC. AAU for me was the tournaments that I played in. Now they talk about travel leagues and things like that, and it's a little bit diminished because of leagues and things competing with it. But AAU was the standard, and AAU represents every sport. They're the largest in the country. The AAU could eat USCF 10 times. It's that much bigger than them. And the idea that chess would be a sport like basketball, football, soccer, track and field, wrestling, everything else in the AAU portfolio made sense. And because I had a basketball background, I had a segue, or I had a means of getting in touch with the AAU and speaking to the leadership of AAU and getting them to listen to me about chess at the AAU and getting them to agree to sanction the game of chess under the AAU umbrella.
And now you're the governing body of the AAU for chess, right?
Well, I know governing is the wrong word, but we're the only one even knows what AAU is. So we are the only AAU organization, AAU chess organization. It's something that's in development for us, but it was a means, again, a stamp of credibility. Better Business Bureau, stamp of credibility. Use USCF, stamp of credibility. AAU, stamp of credibility. AFSA, which is a fitness organization, stamp of credibility. So any affiliation that you can have with outside organizations that are not involved in chess is a good thing.
So, what is your plan with the AAU besides just the pure credibility standpoint? I assume you can do something with it beside that.
My long-term goal with the AAU is to have AAU events, sanctioned events nationwide. I want to do chess events that are under the AAU umbrella, that are rated both USCF and AAU, because we have another metric for a rating system there. I would like to be involved with the AAU because I think being involved with the AAU and doing chess under AAU gets chess players exposure to athletics, different sports, different events. So the idea is ultimately to do events simultaneously to basketball events, simultaneously with football or whatever else they might be doing, to do AAU chess events around the country and to have it sanctioned. And in addition to the chess play, again, have the kids exposed to other events. Because I want our chess players playing basketball. I want our chess players doing everything, man. Life is too short not to enjoy every single thing that's out there. But the notion, that what we're going to do in any respect is at the expense of other or pre-existing chess organizations is ridiculous. And it's not explainable because they have no interest in modernizing and adapting new things. And that's a mistake. So it's an unfortunate mistake, not for me, but for them. Because if you don't evolve, you're going to get left behind. So you should be in my opinion, this dead community should be very grateful that we're here. They didn't have us before. We're a friend. We're not the end of their game. We're the beginning of their game.
Thank you so much for making it to this point. Feel free to follow us on all our socials. They'll be down in the description below. This is the part where you're supposed to deliver some cheesy deep statement, as always.
I just want to say again that you can email any questions that you have. You can try to take us on if you want to. We know that we're on the right course, and we know that we're your friend, whether you like us or not. We know that we're here, what we're here to do, and we know that if you work with us cooperatively, it's to your advantage. It's not something that's going to detract from what you do. But that if you email any questions, no matter how nasty you want to be, stick them in there. And we prefer that you're kind. No matter how aggressive you might be in that email, I promise you that we are happy to address and read every single one of them. We're not afraid of anything that you have to say. So throw it out there, and we really should all just get along and try to build this thing together and recognize the value of what a non-chess player who now plays chess and loves the game brings to you, the value that we bring to you and what we can do to help your business grow just by virtue of all of us being around at the same time.
That surely befits the episode. If you're still around after that, make sure to check us out as we lay out the true future of chess in the USA. Stick around and see you next week.